Hi everyone, it's Loretta. I am going to make some planner covers for my Happy Planner. This is the mini size, which measures 5.125 times 7.5, and the interior pages are 4.5 by 7 inches. And I'm going to use this Steampunk Spells paper pack that I've had in my collection from Graphic 45 for a long time. The first thing I need to do is decide which part of this particular image I want to have on my cover. I went ahead and cut off all the excess salvage edges, and I really want to try to keep as much of this Steampunk Spells as I can. And this is going to be the 5.12 inch side. I'm using a Caterpillar crop, and I have my little light on so I can actually see through the paper. I'm sure that that's not really showing up on camera because I have my studio lights on, but we're going to measure this in actually to 4.75 so that when the laminate is on here it will look really nice. So I'm going to go in and measure this down to the 4.75 and cut my paper, and I'm going to turn it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and take this little top decorative edge off, and this is where I'm going to take my measurement for the length, which is going to be 7.25. Even though I do like the back of this paper, I've decided I want to use paper from a different collection pack. This is Midnight Masquerade, to cut what's going to be the back side of this particular front cover. And as you can see, the colors really go together quite nicely. And I'm going to repeat the process for the back cover. Now these two pieces, which are basically selvages, I'm going to trim these down. I'm going to trim these down to 2 by 7 inches. I have some Scotch 5mm laminating sheets here, and I'm going to cut these down to 7.5 by 5.25. I'm going to leave the sealed edge toward the top. Actually, it's 5 1/8. I apologize. We're going to use this one for the pin loop and dashboard. We're going to measure this in at 2.25 by 7.25. Actually 7.5. Yeah, 7.25. All right, I have my Scotch laminating machine. I actually bought mine on sale at Walmart when they were changing the way they appeared, and I got it for like $10. You can find these things really inexpensively. You can find them at like your Hobby Lobby and Michael's and things. Use a coupon if you can find them there. Save money where you can. Now this is also the point, if you would like, you can sponge the edges of this. I will caution you against it only because there's a chance, especially if you use Distress Oxide inks, that it will smear. I do like that look. You can also use regular dye-based ink to do that, and then you would want to just use your heat tool to heat set it for that more aged appearance. That is completely up to your personal preference. So you're going to want to put your material into your laminating pouch and scooch it in as far as you can. This will also tell you whether or not you've cut stuff straight or not. If you've cut it long enough or short enough, and this one is perfect. You're going to want to put this into your laminating machine with a sealed end first. While that goes through, I'm going to prepare this piece for going in next. You're actually going to want to run this through several times just to make sure that the plastic is completely clear. This will also make it stronger. As you can see, it came out perfectly. Now, for our planner, it's always nice to have a notebook that's handy with a pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pen loop. The easiest way to do this is to eyeball wherever you want the pen, up high or down low. I kind of like it toward the top. You're going to tape that into place. Now you're going to put this into your laminating pouch. I'm going to be using my Create 365 The Happy Planner Punch. And what I did is while I was laminating, I took this scrap piece of paper and I laminated it just so I can see whether or not this particular punch is going to go through the thickness that I need it to for my particular book. I am very fortunate that I own a Levenger punch that creates this type of a key opening for disc. But since that is a punch that generally is a little bit more expensive, I do want to just go ahead and use this one instead. There are markings on here, and you're just going to want to line up your material with one of the marks and give it a punch. So before I punch the actual covers, I'm going to see if this one's going to fit, and it does. So I know this punch is going to work for my purposes. The first thing I want to do is put my pen loop in. I like to line up the paper edge to that little white mark. One of these is going to be the front cover and the other is going to be the back. So right now is the time to decide which is which. They are exactly the same as far as their look. So my front cover is going to be punched so that the holes are on the left-hand side. And the back cover is going to be punched to where the cover holes are going to be on the right-hand side, so that when you open the book, it's going to be correct. Once again, line up the cover and make sure it's completely engaged, so the paper's all the way in as far as you can get it before you push down and punch. This is thicker material, so I've already found it takes 2 hands. So all you're going to do is just pull the other covers off and put your new covers onto your book, just like this. If you want to personalize these, all you have to do is use stickers or print by hand or print onto cardstock a name or even a business if you have a logo. So that's how that looks. Now, obviously you'd have just a regular ink pen, I don't have one on my desk, which is unusual, but true. And that goes into the pin loop, and you can close the book. Now, normally speaking, I would have this much wider, but this is just for the purposes of my process tutorial here. So here it is all finished. Here's the covers I made yesterday. That's the back cover, that's the front. I hope that you will give something like this a try. If you do, please give me credit. If you haven't and you'd like to be, please subscribe to my channel. Give my videos a thumbs up. Share them on your social media. Stay happy and be a blessing. Please always be kind to one another. Have a great day. Bye for now.